Okay.
All right.
Perfect intro, whatever
As usual.
we just did. It'll be cut out. Episode 62 of Inane Blather.
62.
Welcome back, our good
Thank you.
friends.
Oh.
Not you, our listeners. Welcome back, listeners of Inane Blather.
We love you.
As many people would consider them.
Head bonked individuals.
You know, but we love you. Anyway,
And that's
great
why
episode.
you
Talk
love
to you later.
us. Yeah.
Okay, yes. Yeah, and you love us because you are.
Head bonked individuals.
So get ready to
And
listen.
we are.
And then take some unresearched blathering from.
Headstrong, stubborn, quibbling, self-centered, vindictive, obnoxious, hormonal, sexually preoccupied, evil, thieving, cross-dressing jerks.
For anyone that, is a new listener on episode 62, I am an economist. Natalie is a communist.
For sure.
And we're both...
Headstrong.
No, I'm just kidding.
And for all of you nude listeners,
Not good.
Just
Nice.
do what you do. It's a free country. So yeah, and that's why I kind of said it twice, episode 62. It's funny because I'm just going to pretend like it's either 58 or 59 is just a lost episode. Because as I was putting out, I put out 3 episodes in a night and got really confused and remember before we were recording, Natalie saying, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, it's episode 60 or whatever. She's like, okay. Or episode 59. And
I do remember.
I realized I was like, oh, I had one already made, and then we didn't record an episode. And so we set up the next week. I just made a new one. And so I was one ahead.
I was like, I wonder when he'll notice that I don't have anything recorded for that. Because,
No, and then as
don't
I
have
put
one
it out
labeled
too,
that.
I was like, wait, so was that 58 or 59? Well, I'm labeling it this, and we'll just skip over it. So maybe
that
we'll
episode
come back after episode 100
Yeah.
and record. We just go back and see what news
That's
was
2
going
lost
on, the second
episodes.
week of July or whatever. But hopefully everyone's enjoying it because I finally just got stuff caught up. It was really getting to me, and I hope everyone likes our new old intro song with Natalie wailing on the saxophone, all inspired by our president, the true president, Donald
the 40
Jefferson Jonathan Juan Trump.
Jacob.
It's not Donald J. Trump,
Engelheimer.
it's Donald J. Trump. And the fourth one is J. J-A-Y. You know, that's Homer's middle name, Homer J. Simpson.
J.
And then, like, I don't know how many seasons into it. It's like far into the Simpsons where Homer J. Simpson. But what does the J stand for? And it stands for J. J-A-Y. But not like...
Original.
Who is it? Harry S. Truman? Which one is it? One of the presidents, their middle name is just an initial. They don't have a middle name. I forget what it is.
Well, it's Harry Susan Truman.
Oh,
I think we all
yeah,
know
that's
that.
different.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Richard Gere, his middle name. You know what his middle name is?
No.
Tiffany. It is.
Nuh-uh.
Look it up.
Huh.
Nope, totally didn't make that
Richard Tiffany Gere.
up. But, yeah,
Awesome to the max.
that's what it stands for.
Dick Tiff Gear.
Dick Tiffany, the fastest gun-toting shooter in the wild South. But so, how was your day today?
Today was a good day. I didn't
Ooh.
even have to use my AK. Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
as quoted, Ice Cube, right?
I actually went to a doctor's appointment to get me cleared to go back to knocking on doors. Which
Boring.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. I've been on the phone
No,
fundraising
oh yeah, that's
for work.
good. So you can start walking.
So I can go. Yep, tomorrow I got to go back. So that's, being on the phones. It's really
Shitty.
inspired me in a lot of ways. But it would be. I felt like I had a lot of pent up energy, and it made me want to get back to having face to face conversations and
Back
be
in the
there.
saddle.
Yeah, be out there, pounding the streets, and
You're
all
like,
the
yeah,
people that
I
I
ride
was
a horse
calling
while
are
I
like,
do it now. Actually, I'm
Yeah.
back in the saddle. again.
All the people that I talked to on the phone were like, generally, at least, supporters, Amnesty supporters, and then like
Nice.
going door to door.
Get
You
some
never
good
know.
leads, huh?
Oh yeah, it's like people who have given, it's like signed petitions or whatever, given their information voluntarily
Okay.
to us, things like that.
Sure.
Or they've been donators or
You're not
whatever.
like cold calling people. Oh, that would be
No,
really tough for
that's
something like
like-
that. Hey, you
that's
want to
knocking
talk
on
for a while
doors.
about, yeah, exactly, doing the door knocking
Nah.
stuff on the phone? Oh my God. Yeah, and for all
Yeah.
you new listeners, Natalie is a missionary for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Have you heard the good news?
Yeah, she converted from being a Jehovah's Witness. No, Amnesty International, everyone support
human
it.
rights activist.
She just goes
It's a
around
great organization.
neighborhoods, knocking on doors and saying,
Socialism is when no car.
yeah.
And
But,
people get it. They
yeah.
just immediately are on board.
Yeah, they open the door and they hear that and with a huge smile on their face, they're like,
I love Karl Marx.
you're like, oh my God, me too.
Every day, that's what happens at every bar.
Oops, that's not
honestly.
the one that I wanted.
That's what it's like in Seattle.
Yeah. Yeah, and then anything outside of Seattle, they open the door and they're like,
No.
I thought you were gonna do like the gunshot.
yeah, exactly. That's east of the Cascades, maybe. But
Yeah. There's people out there.
yeah, but they won't open the door first. That's
Yeah.
yeah.
True. They'll have a sign. I did. There was a sign at
Just
one
down the
house
street
that was
from
like,
me, they'll just
there's a sign that said, trespassers will be shot. Survivors will be shot again.
Yeah.
And I was like, should I go knock on their door and tell them about our campaign to end gun violence?
yeah. You'd be like,
I
yeah, don't worry,
didn't,
you'll
yeah.
be the only one with a gun left over.
Yeah.
No, we're not trying to
You're the
take
only
your
good
fucking
gun owner.
guns, moron.
Yeah.
So let's see. Oh, I had this great thought. Australia, because they're
As a
a
concept?
Western democracy. Yeah, we should make this place called Australia. But I said Australia is a modern beacon of democracy because they have equality. Koala. Equality.
Yeah. No, I got it.
You little poopy bitch.
Yeah, no, but I think I'm getting pretty good at writing jokes. Quiet down. Come on. Shut up. Okay.
But over in New Zealand they have equity because Kiwis. I think they're in New Zealand. Huh? That's I read off the top of the old
soundboard
bean
is
here.
just too big. There we go. There.
Thank you.
Also, and I already sent this to you. I had no joke for it, but I just wrote a guy named Dominic with a best friend named Subinic. Dom and Sub. Okay. And,
That's kind of funny.
and for some reason wrote, I was trying to combine Ben Shapiro and Buck Angel, and I just wrote Benuk Shapangel. But yeah, well, I'm glad that things are on a good path for you, figuratively and literally. You'll be back on the walking path.
It also, though, is extremely hot this week.
Yeah,
It's very hot.
I was just
it's
gonna
in the
say
90s here,
my
which
day-
is very, very hot.
It was, yeah. I mean, my day, it was fun though. It was sun and sand because it was about 104 today, and went with the kiddo and picked up one of her little friends and said, hey, we're going to go down to the river. Does she want to go? So we picked her up and, man, just hung out at this great park in the Tri-Cities, Leslie Groves Park. Man, some of the, that's the funny thing. Just ass backwards places like the Tri-Cities, or there's so much worse all over the place. But it's
Bass backwards.
Yeah, bass backwards. That's when you get out into the river. You have to put a pole out and get some bass backwards. But you gotta
pole out
you gotta
and get some bass
dangle
backwards.
you gotta dangle your worm. You know what I'm saying? But man, some of it's just probably taking for granted living in Washington. A lot of places, thanks to just public funding and real use of government, but have like parks Like it's so taken for fucking granted, but in general. But man, along the Columbia River, it's so great. Leslie Groves, who I learned was I always thought it was because there's all these little kind of groves down near the water, but no, it was a guy named Leslie Groves, and he worked on the Manhattan Project. I learned a bunch of... I didn't even go to Oppenheimer, but I learned a bunch of nuclear stuff recently. But yeah, it was hot. It was very hot. I swam in the river a whole bunch. Had my new... got to keep my new Samsung Galaxy Watch on because it's waterproof, so that was kind of cool. And it still felt weird. I looked it up. I'm like, I'm sure this thing's waterproof. And it's like, oh yeah, you can... Because there's swimming options. You can keep track of that and everything. There's this little thing to expel the water. But after like 5 minutes of swimming in the river with that on, I was like, this feels so weird. I have to take this off. It's like, there's no way that this works. But it's like, yeah, you can keep it on all the time. You can wear it in the shower. Just don't go scuba diving in it. You don't want to go like 60 feet
too deep.
Below the water. It's too much pressure. And I was like, yeah, like I'm going to do that. But it was really nice. So I had a hot summer day with some locally sourced fruit, some melons.
Cherries?
No,
Ooh,
I had a
melons.
a nice cantaloupe, and a yellow watermelon. Which it's so funny. You slice it up, put it in a bag. It looks like you just have a bag of pineapple. It's crazy, the color of it.
For sure,
and it was so tasty.
Exactly.
And yeah, just hung out. Read some David Sedaris sitting in the park while the kids were playing in the water. It was summer's almost over. It's 2 weeks till my kid starts school.
Have met David Sedaris. Also, yeah, I know our niece is already back in school since last week.
Yeah,
I think,
well,
down in Vegas.
Crazy there, so make sure that we get him when it's still really hot. No,
get him in the air conditioning.
Yeah, true. Yeah, who knows? We get kids in the air conditioning.
So you get some of your
early.
Summer break in like May, so you can actually be outside.
True, yeah, because that's like August here is May up there. So, oh yeah, and because of my watch, I did write on here. I'm making some goals. I've been hitting my steps and stuff like that too, but I think I'm going to start jerking off with my left hand more often so that the activity will count on my smartwatch. It really gets
like, wow, you really
going
get
to like, man, you've
really get your hours
been
in.
working hard, man. You must have burned another 20 calories. So what do we want to talk about? I've got oh my God, this list is gigantic.
Gigante.
Holy cow. Oh my God. I'm sorry, but there's way more notes on here than I thought. We've really kind of gone off track and just blathered, which was really fun, or had something else to talk about, and
Quite
I don't really
inanely.
get to my notes. Just like last week where I just started talking about the Barbie movie, and then we just ranted about voting in the middle of, like, in the beginning of August in an off year.
Talk about the Barbie movie, and it goes to inevitably the Electoral College.
That was kind of a disappointing part of the Barbie movie was, quote unquote, solving the problem was by voting. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, that's just a small part of it, but it's like that was the big goal and the big celebration. Like, fuck
hey, we
you,
gotta start
liberals.
We gotta start somewhere, because you know what? Also, people in the United States don't vote.
Oh yeah,
you see, like, turnout in other countries that are democracies, the voter turnout is much higher.
Yeah.
We're so like lame about it.
It's kind of embarrassing.
Just like talk about take it for granted.
It's just another thing that contributes to with people's sense of apathy, even if they're very politically smart. I mean, people we talk to. I mean, I argue with Zach all day long, all in good faith and fun about voting or not voting. But it just contributes to that, where it's like, you'll get a sense of like, well, what's it gonna do? It's like, yeah, because no one votes. It's like, it's
very much.
I mean, having less than 50% of the right, isn't it under 50% in a lot of stuff?
It's pretty bad. And there's like other countries that get voter turnout up to like 90%. When you have like a federal holiday for voting, when you have, excuse me, thinking about how we have mail-in voting in Washington State, like that's what we do. It makes it so easy.
Yes.
You get your ballot, you fill it out, you send it back.
It
It's
makes
so,
everything
like,
else seem like a fucking joke. Like
is this like the 1800s? We have to go down to the pavilion to cast our ballot or whatever? Like
Yeah.
all this kind of
Gotta go-
bullshit. This is like
Oh, shit.
2023.
dang it.
We should be able to do it digitally by now. Like it seems just like we have the technology.
Yes.
It's so,
it's called
just
the
really,
United
what
States Postal Service, and just some basic funds set aside for people counting and certifying ballots. Like, it's so telling how against it the Republican Party is, of course, because it's like, anything to
because
make
they would never
voting
win another
easier.
election.
Yeah. And it's like, and at the same time, though, that's always my final retort to ding-dongs on the internet when we're complaining about mail-in voting or whatever it is. I'm like, man, you know what? What was it the last time I said it? It was like, you know what? I think you might be right. Can you, you should team up with me so we can get that fraudulent Republican out of my district, since we do mail-in voting. Obviously, it was fraud. It was voter fraud is how all of these fucking Republicans around here get elected.
In Washington State, yeah.
But yeah.
Seems pretty satanic.
But I can't wait to just have us both complain and be in complete misery over the next year with the fucking Democrats pushing Joe Biden. Like, no joke, I don't hate the guy like some people do. I don't like the guy.
No.
But it's like,
I would like
just
him as a person.
die. Straight up. It's the best thing for the Democratic Party right now. The dude is so old. He sucks. He's got some things done in terms of a liberal Democrat agenda, but not much, and has fucked a lot of things up. And I still think he could. I think he could beat Trump. I don't know. I know he could beat any of the other guys, because fuck that. Yeah, we're going to vote for Vivek Ramaswamy. It's not happening, bro. Or let alone fucking DeSantis.
I think that Biden would win again against
but
Trump,
just die,
but it just feels
because
like,
the Democrats won't even try to put up someone else. They're not going to nominate someone else through primaries. And that's why we don't have like some really big contenders that are trying to primary him. Marianne Williamson is fantastic. I love her to death, but and she's saying good stuff, but it's all, it's not an actual campaign to be president, no matter what she'll say when she's on Hassan Piker's stream or whatever. But and then RFK, geez, why is he the one that didn't get assassinated? No, I'm just kidding. That's fucking crazy. I'm surprised he hasn't been assassinated from an errant vaccine with the way that he believes, shit that he believes. But so no, let's not talk about voting. I brought it up and then fucked this up again. So
we got plenty of time.
Instead of just that, politically, we need factual tactics or tactical facts. We need to keep it factical, is what I'm thinking. That's what
Factical.
we need. But we need to be out there winning hearts and minds, but with facts and not with when they go low, we go high. Just in general. Not just Democrats, anyone outside of the GOP. If you want to use facts in a slimy, underhanded way to get people to, not vote for fascists, let's do it. Factical. Keep it factical.
Do it.
Have an end game in mind instead of just being some dumb reply lib on x.com. Just posting constant fact check articles from the Washington Post. No one cares. All right? Nobody cares.
Suck my dick, idiot.
I don't know. I was just trying to. This soundboard's too big right now, but yeah.
That's the joke.
I guess. But that's it. But let's try to get some.
We got to get some. I feel like what the left has a lot of energy and stuff. We really need some passion of some kind, of some like concentrated group of people that are, I mean, it's like really, I mean,
You need
people
a
are doing it,
populist
but
person. You need a populist
Yeah.
like Bernie Sanders.
because there are all these things that we really, really, really do agree on. That this whole thing, not to get back to voting, but
Yeah.
again, these people are supposed to have our interests in mind, and what do we have to do is fight for our rights.
Yeah.
You know, nobody.
Well, so many when comes to the Democratic Party, they don't have your interest in mind. That's for sure.
There's not. I mean,
But
they're
there are
supposed to.
some.
These
Especially
These people-
the people that aren't the national stage morons, you know? People that aren't Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi or fucking red state blue dog Democrats. Like, they just don't represent anyone. Like, people like AOC and Ilhan Omar and Bernie Sanders. It's like, there's a reason these people get popular. You fucking idiots. Because they're upset with us. They even if it's all fake, which I don't think it is, like.
But there's so much overlap. Like, you see, like, Hassan is watching like Hogwatch, you know,
Yes.
he's like watching all these MAGA people talk about inflation and talk about corporations being greedy,
Yes.
and it's like,
did you see that from More Perfect
yes.
Union? He watched that
Yes.
More Perfect Union
yeah,
thing.
with Hassan. Yeah, and it's like they're right there, and that's like what Bernie Sanders is saying. That's sometimes, you know, like Elizabeth Warren says stuff like that about corporations, and we really could, if there was just someone that was like maybe in their 40s that could like do this, you know, like not someone that's like 100, and there are no other options, pretty much. It would be really
think-
nice. What do we got? Pete Buttigieg? God, come on.
Petey
All
butt
right.
cheeks. Yeah, fuck that rat-faced CIA plant. But yeah, you know what I hate about him? That he's gay. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, obviously.
No, it's not that he's gay. It's that his husband's name is Chasten.
I think that's unacceptable regardless of your
read,
sexuality. And I think that's something we can all unite
Yeah.
behind.
Yeah, unite on, as part of his platform, he'll force his husband to change his name to, like, Bert. No. But I was reading David Sedaris today, like I said, and he was talking about the hurricanes, because they have this place in North Carolina. I guess his family's from North Carolina, but and talking about the hurricanes, and he's like, this one was Florence, is the one that destroyed their beach house. But yeah, he's like, Florence. He's like, why is it still on these? I forget exactly how I described it, but these classic, like, old timey names: Florence, Floyd, Irma, and stuff. He's like, when are we gonna have a Hurricane Skylar or a Hurricane Laquan or something like that? It's like, that's a good point. It's like, why those names? Kind of a little, white old names are the default. I don't think so.
Yeah. What
How
you want
about
is a devastating storm
Hurricane
with
Carlos?
like black connotations.
Yeah.
something
So
like
it's
that.
totally,
Yeah.
so they just make it up to try to make it unique. It's like, no, someone has that name with that apostrophe right there, asshole.
There's a comedian that's like, it would be nice to have like Megadeth or like Super Doom or something. It was like, it would make people pay a lot more
True.
attention than like
just some
Katrina.
badass metal ass names.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
It's like, that would be
Katrina,
like a lot
which
more
was, like,
indicative of like what's going to
devastating.
happen. Yeah,
It's like, sorry to every girl named Katrina, but you done fucked up now.
yeah, you don't care about black people.
Yeah, I guess. No, it's like, well, either that or, thank you, Katrina, for really destroying George W. Bush's already tattered legacy. So that's great.
Yeah, really put the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, too bad all those people died, but whatever.
Worth it.
Man, speaking of right now, good God, Hawaii. Oh my God. I'm going to try to
I
be
can't
putting these
even-
out
every
faster so we can kind of date some of this
Every
stuff.
time
but
I see
God
a
damn.
new thing, it's the death toll. It's
It's like 100
crazy.
people now.
Yeah, it's
Hearing
shocking.
on
I
ABC
cannot
News
even imagine.
from over there, the people talking about and everything's all close together, and as soon as these cars caught on fire and they started exploding, all these parked cars were like
Oh my
exploding,
God.
and they just have to run straight out to the ocean, get in the water, and like submerge yourself and just have your mouth out the top. It's like I'm on video right now for only you, but yeah, and just like breathing out there and waiting for like explosions and shrapnel and flames and stuff to die down. Like, holy God.
What started the fire?
We didn't.
That's what Billy said. So
Hurricane Billy. But
Hurricane Joel.
I don't know. And then it's like, oh my gosh. And then dumbass people. Right wingers suck. America sucks, man.
Yeah.
America's right wingers, they're just fucking stupid. Like, yes, climate change does stuff, but no one's saying that it just got so hot that things caught on fire. That's not what they're saying.
They think that things are spontaneously combusting because of the heat. Is that what right wingers think happens?
No, that's
like,
what they
genuinely?
think the New York Times was trying to say by, talking about climate change and wildfires. And they're like, how stupid is that? It's like, yeah, that would be stupid if that's what they were saying, you idiot. But
it looks like it was probably power lines that were fanned by really high winds.
Oh, okay.
That maybe that's what they think it might
that
be.
started
It's like
something.
obviously a common thing that happens. That's what started in California.
yeah, okay.
Power
high
lines
winds
and
power
stuff.
lines. Ooh, I had high winds
yeah.
take down a power line at my house. It was really scary when I went out and saw it hanging
Yeah.
around and sparking and stuff. I was like, well, I'm going back
Yeah.
inside into the dark house.
And then you tell those Republicans, it's like, so maybe if we had like a normal amount of rain and a normal temperature, what do you think the ground and the surrounding area would be like in the trees? Do you think that they would be wetter? Yeah, they would be. So then when things have more moisture, or there's not like a bunch of all this tinder dry stuff just been baking out in 100-degree heat, for days on end with no clouds
on a
in the
fucking
sky.
island in the middle of the Pacific.
Yeah, or whatever. I mean, I don't know what the
Jesus.
temperature's been there, but it's always sunny and in Maui. And, it's like
In
increased
Maui,
temperatures. Yeah, yeah.
It's crazy that
Increased temperatures. But that's what happens with these fires. It's like, no, are you fucking stupid? There's like, you do not read the news. There's like record droughts in all these places. And then you're like, oh, I don't know. What could have caused this fire? How's that climate change's fault? Or what? I don't even get like how they don't make the correlations. Like it's so.
correlations. Wow, nice pun. Even though 100 people are dead. God damn.
That was.
Oops. What? But let's see. Let's turn that down a little bit. But let's go to something written down here. Australia is a modern beacon of democracy. Okay. Equality.
Yeah.
I'm gonna reiterate equality. No, but
Equity.
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 Equity. Okay. Except in New
See?
Zealand, they
That's-
don't have that, so it's pretty
Equity?
rude to talk about that with Aboriginal peoples beings. So I'm just kidding. I don't know anything about New Zealand.
I would say that's more Australia
But,
than New Zealand. But probably both, I'm going to say.
Oh, big time. But final note with any of the Hawaii stuff, at least it's bringing to the forefront the discussion of stop fucking visiting Hawaii. It's like, it shouldn't even be a
for
state.
sure.
Like, that's one of those really glossed over things where it's just like, yeah, that happened like, not even 100 years ago. They were just like, no, you're part of the U.S. now. Like, God damn, it's so crazy.
I know.
I mean, not even part of the
It's
U.S. because we
crazy.
have all these other territories and stuff, but it's like, and you're a state, and people just go there to visit. I don't know. It's just weird that, that it's how much it's taken for granted.
I think it's called colonialism that's very accessible to us. Like what we see, that's like modern day colonialism where they have no say in the keeping of their lands.
Tourism.
But and like all of that, like you're talking about parks and stuff, I do love the United States has like a really good, we do a lot of conservation efforts, but with having taken that land away from people who were conserving it in the first place, and that is like, also what leads to these fires and things like that is like native indigenous peoples not caring for the land like they have,
Yeah.
or knowing about the land and having like knowing what to do, and
Need
like
to do
blah blah blah
things
blah. This
right.
passed down for
Yeah.
generations and generations, you know.
One cool thing today. One cool thing today was, I mean, quote unquote cool, interesting, but the fire department here has a set
It's
of
the fire department.
what?
That's a reference to A Christmas Story, where he's like, "The police are here.
Oh,
It's the fire department."
oh, you kind
when he
of
has
cut
a
out, but I
stun
thought all
sex
I
in the-
heard was
Oh.
apartment, and I was like, what is that a reference? But
We can cut this out.
nope.
Politics.
But yeah, they have a set of seaplanes, and they were going around watching out for fires and stuff like that. So they fly like so low when you're there at the park, because I mean, just like 300 yards away is where they would touch down on the river, and they come down and they fill up the big tank underneath the plane. So they touch down and go and just hit the throttle again and take back off with a tank full of water. It's really cool. And
Oh, wow.
yeah, I mean, they would fly.
cool.
I mean, you could practically see the pilot wave to you from the beach if you
Yeah.
if he was.
If he wasn't
'cause-
clinging on for dear life.
yeah. But he's like, hi. No, but it was really kind of cool. It's like, man, these little planes, like a crop duster plane, and how they're just so low. Like, what a job, you know? But
The Blue Angels were just
oh yeah,
in town here. They're pretty fucking loud.
Yes.
My partner has a place in Seattle, and we were at their place. I only got to hear it once, but they said, man, that started like 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Just like flying right over.
Oh, yeah.
Like just, I mean, it's pretty cool
It's
to see.
really cool
but it
if
is
you want to see it,
incredibly
but
loud. It's like flying right
goddamn.
over your apartment
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah, just like it's hadn't really thought about how incredibly noticeable that would be
Yes.
for the people in the community.
Oh
And
yeah,
it's
Well,
like
that's what
it's a
I
bit
sent
much.
a video. Yeah, we have the air shows here a couple weeks before Seafair goes on over there, when we have our hydroplane races. And yeah, that one F-35, it's like it's crazy. Like at one point when it flew directly over my work, and I happened to be walking out to check the mail, and like the concrete is like shaking as it flies over. It's like, it's very cool. But also,
Yeah.
I think
There's
I
no
was
question
shout out
it's
to
badass,
Zach. I think
you
I was
know.
telling to Zach about it, but just like, man, how terrifying that sound would be. Like if you're anywhere that's
Talk
not
about
an air show.
PTSD, Jesus Christ.
Jesus,
Yeah.
oh my God! Imagine it. If you're just attending a wedding in Pakistan or something. No, that's drone
Yeah.
strikes. They say that's a
Yeah,
death
that's true. Those are
knell as
silent.
well. Yeah,
Yeah.
but well, they make noise for sure.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's
When they're close enough, I
terrifying.
guess.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
it's still a jet, right? So isn't
That's
it?
true.
I'm pretty sure, but
I mean, they're just a lot smaller, I think, but
They're still big.
You know, they don't have to hold a person.
yeah, but they
Or
hold a
anything.
purse on the drone. Yeah, that's how they.
Just gotta have
They
his
got
license.
this goddamn government contracts where it's like somehow, $80 million went to Dolce and Gabbana, or says, do they make purses?
Yeah.
No, Gucci.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, for
Yeah.
sure. Dolce and Gabbana
Okay.
makes purses.
Yeah, just to have the bonds dropped out in a purse, so
Yeah.
they'd always be on the news. You'd see it. If we go to war,
Yeah.
it would be associated with patriotism.
It's just a marketing opportunity. Yeah. It's like idiocracy right there.
Yeah, really. So, okay, it's funny.
Your wiener.
I'm just doing all Hassan things on here because we should have, man. To wrap up our initial conversation,
Democracy simply doesn't work.
but it's funny you brought up your partner who uses they them pronouns.
That's correct.
And
They use he, they, but
Yeah.
I think that they prefer.
or yeah,
They.
whatever. I mean,
Them.
nobody cares what they want, so I mean, no skin off my teeth, but no, but no, not at all. and I really like them. But
Yeah, they're the best. Oh my god.
fun fact, just so when you're talking to a chud or some turf or whatever it might be, I mean, it's funny when people are like, well, what? It's multiple people? That's plural. And then, of course, there's always the retort, singular use of they has been around for a long time, for hundreds of years, you know? I mean, maybe it wasn't as common, but you have probably done it, you know, and stuff. And that's all well and good. But I'd never even considered the fact that, like, both singular and plural use of the word you happens all the time. It's just, that's the language works that way. It's proven to be able to work that way. And plural use, I mean, singular use of the word you has been around longer than singular use of the word they. Like, I mean, singular use of the word
the other
they
opposite,
has been around longer than you, because you used to say thou instead of you. So that was singular. You're talking to a single person, you'd say thou. If you're talking to a group of people, you'd say you. But now, I mean, language evolves and changes. We don't use thou anymore. You just say you. And it's like,
Yeah.
I wonder if everyone was
language
foaming
evolves,
their fucking pants back then. It's like, what? I'm going to use thou. I'm going to call thou thou. I was going to say call you thou. But you is plural.
Whether
God damn
thou
it.
likes it or not.
I just want to keep just maxing out my microphone here. But
I was thinking about, it better be people like the Ben Shapanos and the Jordan Beepersons and all that are making this argument. Because I swear to God, if it's these people that say, yeah, I seen that movie, I'm like, I don't care that you use English wrong or whatever wrong. If you say, I seen that movie, I saw that movie, or I've seen that movie, those are the ways you would say it in English. People that would have a problem with they, them pronouns are the same motherfuckers that would say, yeah, I seen that movie. And I would say, how am I supposed to understand what you're saying?
Yeah.
You're not even speaking English right. I can't even comprehend, blah, blah, blah. You're getting the point across, language evolves and all this kind of stuff. This is what someone wants. You just kind of do it. So it better be only these Ben Shapanos that really, really do use grammar and all that kind of stuff, whatever.
Well,
they know good words and all this.
That's the first person that comes to mind for me is Ben Shapiro, because him talking about it, and that was a couple years ago. But Thought Slime responded to exactly that, saying, hey, singular they was used by Shakespeare, you dingus. This guy that you love so much. Oh my God, Ben Shapiro was on Twitter. I was like, what a fucking nerd. You stupid, basic ass bitch. But someone talking about music, and he quote tweeted him saying like, well, you should be listening to Chopin, or not even Chopin. That's too much. Beethoven, Mozart, and Brahms and stuff. I'm like, you
Chopin's too much.
Basic nerd. Like, what the fuck? And I like classical music. I
love classical music.
But to act like that's like better
the
for your
pinnacle
mind.
Of music?
Yes, exactly. It's such deep-seated white supremacy for one thing. It's very Eurocentric and
which is
conservative.
really interesting since Ben Shapiro is Jewish. I just always want everyone to know that Ben Shapiro's Jewish and he's like a white supremacist.
Yeah.
So
sure.
I think he's a very interesting person.
Well,
and
it's like, well, because
that's what I'll
on
say
the
about
right,
him.
white supremacy makes money, and you know how those people are with making money.
Man,
just
you
kidding.
sound like this woman I just talked to the other day on the phone.
Because all the Muslims are terrorists. We gotta hate the Muslims. They're
Nice
criminals and
cover-up.
rapists. The American people are tired of women.
Okay, now everyone can forget the joke that I made. Oh, what was the one that I sent you? Just I said a biopic movie
about
an
a
Auschwitz baseball team called Designated Hitler.
Yep, I just told that joke the other day, and
Did you get a laugh?
It was like, oh, that was good. Yeah, it was more than, it was like, oh, that's funny. Like, which is better than a laugh sometimes. Is what I tell
Someone
myself.
nodded and said, "That's funny." This was so much better than laughter. Much
no,
better
you
when
had to be
people
there
are.
for it.
Cold, hollow, and violent.
Yeah,
You had to be there
that's
for it.
funny. Yeah. Well, I guess you had to be there.
Ha 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 ha.
That's another Simpsons joke with, I think it's Martin Sheen, but yeah, where he's like, I spent, after being a prisoner of war, and then I spent the last 26 years in a labor camp sewing soccer balls or something like that. And he's like, when you look back at it, it's kind of funny where it is right now. And Lisa's like, that's not funny. He says, well, I guess you had to be there. But
Yeah, I just think that if, like, people have always, like, this whole thing about, like, speaking English, like, people use it for racist ways, like, people that don't speak English as a first language or whatever, and then, like, whatever people want to say about the grammar and, like,
Something there.
ooh, they, then, or whatever. They, them.
they then
Yeah.
take a hard right off of a long bridge.
Yeah, take a short walk off a long walk off a short.
A short
Dock.
walk
Damn it.
onto a bunch of fucking landmines.
Yeah, no. That it's really like we all speak like just like plain old English. Like if you're really being grammatically correct, it's pretty formal. Like no one really
Yeah.
talks like that. Like ending your sentences with prepositions and using like all these contractions and different things.
There's
Like
something
we
to be
just
said,
colloquialisms
too,
and all
for
this.
speaking correctly.
I mean, if you're wanting to really like get across, like be
it's
you know,
language.
very
We all have to
eloquent
be on
and,
the
like,
same page
yeah,
so we can understand
Yeah.
each other. But
for sure.
that's
It's
why
just interesting
changes
how
like that
incredibly
don't.
triggered people
Yeah.
are by that. It's like, but you barely even speak fucking English. Like you learned it
Yeah.
for 12 years, and it sounds like you didn't really get a lot of the principles, which is totally fine. I was a great English student, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I wasn't a great math student. Some people just don't, whatever. But like, just
Well,
where
see,
it's those people that are looking down on other people for not speaking English well, or not, then suddenly calling out these grammar principles where it's like, what are you even fucking
Yeah.
talking
Well,
about?
look at it this
it's just
way.
a way.
I mean, those people, yeah, that it's like, I don't know if you want to call it a dumb type of hypocrisy or whatever it might be. It's like you're not even good at speaking English, yet you're calling out these grammatical rules. Look, a different way of approaching that is, hey, you speak incorrectly all the time, and we're all okay with it because we get the point
Yeah.
across and we've accepted changes in how people speak the language. I
wouldn't wanna make
the
you
only
feel bad.
real rules to a language are whatever everyone agrees on. It's whatever anyone says. That's why words get added to the dictionary. That's why we don't say thou anymore. It's like it only exists as a common understanding between
communicate.
two or more people. That's all it is. It's like so. Even if it's grammatically incorrect now, or you think it is, whether you're right or wrong, like, too bad. Like that will just
getting the
change.
point across.
That will just
Yeah.
change. I mean, and
Yeah.
all we have to do to make that change is just to accept it, to accept that change, and then
'Cause it's
the
happening.
language now works that way, and now that is the rule. It's on us, and I mean,
Yeah.
you can get
It's called
dragged kicking and
etymology.
screaming into it, but I mean, you not accepting it as proper,
Thou not accepting it.
yeah, does not
Thank you.
matter.
Thank thou.
in any way whatsoever. It just doesn't matter. Sorry, brochacho, but
Yeah, and it just seems
Don't
like a
quote
weird
me
fight
on
to
that,
pick
though.
when it's like, yeah, like when it's like the language that we use, like to be so averse to that change or whatever. Like it seems just like a weird thing to not want to learn
yeah,
to me, or to be better
it's like,
at.
do you
It
want
just
to
seems
be
like
able to
a-
communicate with more people or not? You know.
No, No.
Yeah, exactly. They don't. But
I hope you get ass cancer and die, you son of a bitch.
I'm just off of my
Pretty
game
much.
on the soundboard today. But yeah, because we need to keep it factical.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm glad that...
So our one factual action is to start using thou.
Yeah.
I think.
I'm going to go
folks.
backwards. I'm going
That's
to
what we're
listen to
doing.
Brahms and start using thou. because I am Benukshapangel and I am a
That
transgender Ben Shapiro.
That poor Benny boy is just so incredibly like missing out. What a life wasted saying that
true.
Like only classical music and all that kind of stuff, which is like whatever. Everyone can have their stuff, but it just seems like you really like the resistance to these new things makes you obviously it makes you dumb.
You're
like
making
he is,
your
but,
life worse.
Oh my
That's what
god, you're missing out
conservatism
on
does.
so much glory of like life of just like existence, and like there's so much out there that's so incredible, and you're stuck in this certain time period that even you can look back on and say fucking sucked for a bunch of people and did a bunch of things wrong, and you're like holding it up as this high standard, like the pinnacle of society, when you can find valid concerns there. I just don't. It just seems
when it comes to
it's
music,
so inspiring to see progress and stuff. It's just
and it's like when it comes to music,
see progression.
Because he knows music
Nice.
too, and he's a musician, and it's like it's all like you're purposefully. I mean, it's just conservatism in general. You're purposefully shutting yourself off from progress or new ideas. You're making your life worse. But when it comes to music itself too, it's like, well, sure, there were incredible composers whose music has stood the test of time for many reasons, because it is very good music, but also it's like, but that music being the good music is only that because you were told that. That's it. Like, because if you want, you want to do some sort of objective analysis and go through the theory and stuff, there's definitely comparable. Yeah, if you want to like de-artify it, and talk about why it's better. Hey, fine. I'll have you listen to Infant Annihilator. There's some goddamn music theory in that. You're not going to like that. Everyone called me out, too, in some comment that I made. I was like, oh, it was about modern art. And conservatives that are like, well, it's all about, PragerU did a video about modern art, and they want to say like, oh, but the technical ability that was needed, in doing this marble statue, and why that's better than, the banana taped to the wall or something like that. It's like, well, if all they're talking about is, technical ability, I bet none of these guys listen to extreme metal. I bet they don't, because that's technical ability, and it's okay for it to not be art to you. I mean, not sound like art to you. Yeah, it doesn't have to. You don't have to connect with it because it is art. And even me, someone who listens to it, sometimes it's like all I'm hearing is just technical chops, and I don't like listening to it. I got to have a breakdown and some sort of groove going on here because I want it to be music as well. But
I just the white supremacy and patriarchal like arrogance of it all is like they're literally trying to objectively define like what art is and what good art is. It's like, so you're going to compare like a beautiful singer, with a very classically trained voice to someone who maybe doesn't have the same kind of tone and stuff, but maybe is more soulful and all that. It's like, talk about apples to oranges. It's like you can't really compare these things because it's an opinion. Yeah. It's what you like more. That's what art is. It speaks to you. It's like this thing that connects. It's not really objective. It's all about these feelings, which are objective, that they make you feel or make you don't. And if they don't, that's fucking fine. Yeah. That's fine. But not everything speaks to everyone.
There's still like, there's still something there. There's a reason why critique of art exists and analysis and stuff like that. Sure. But it's like, but when it comes down to it, those people, those, conservatives that complain about certain types of art, I don't like just it's subjective. So too bad, because it's like, okay, so let's just not discuss anything. But those people,
that's
when they
different
make that choice to be like, no, this is better because blank, it's like, you just opened yourself up to the discussion, and you're almost always going to be wrong. Like, just if you want to make it on these objective levels, you don't have the knowledge and like of
That's
other
what I'm
art
saying.
because you shut yourself off from it because you think it's all bad.
That's what I mean. The arrogance of it, for them to
Yes.
come in and say what is good. These people, like, I love, like, critics. Like, I love to read critics' reviews
Yeah.
of things. I think that they're so smart. Like, good ones, bad ones, they're all just, like, really good at analyzing what it is about something that makes you feel a type of way and why that would be good or bad or blah, 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 whatever. What it was about something that maybe they could put their finger on, but you couldn't. Ben
And
Shapiro
this is why
and
Ben
his
Shapiro
ilk
had such a bad
comes
review
in.
of the Barbie movie. All
I
of
know,
that put
he comes
together.
in with just like an opinion and is just like so firm in it with like what you're saying, no foundation, just an arrogance of because I am who I am, I know
Yes.
this, and what I am
And
is
since
a white
I didn't
guy.
like it,
And so,
it legitimately is objectively
sucks.
bad. Yeah.
yeah, because I didn't like it, and my opinion is the opinion on this subject. Regardless of anything I might know about it, I know that because of my standing, my opinion goes, and that I've learned that through my whole life. That's what's bred this horrible arrogance into me, and that's
And
what's
there's
cut me off from all this great
and
art.
there's
Because-
this cyclical effect because it's like, and that's why you think it's bad. I mean, Ben, thou thinks it is bad because you don't understand it, and you don't understand it because you already think it's bad. And so you cut yourself off from even understanding the work. That's why they're so bad at like media literacy, in general.
Would you say thou doesn't understand?
I wouldn't.
Thou doesn't understand the problem, Douglas. That is
Methinks
like
thou
saying,
doth protest
Yeah.
too much, Ben Shapiro, and I think thou loved the Barbie movie.
I think
Okay.
he probably did.
Before
too.
we wrap this up, then, let's go. Let's do something new. And to start on just something not constructive. Nothing about this podcast is constructive in any way whatsoever.
No.
But
I'm tired of being a corporate shell.
so
True that.
we'll just start it with let's say it's we're entering the amnesty arena. No. Amnesty
Here we are.
International Corner.
The cage
Let
fight.
me know just something good that Amnesty International is doing right now. Don't list a bunch of stuff. Let's just highlight something.
All right. You know what? I'll just say what I say when I go to the door.
Okay.
You
What
know
do we got going on right
what
now?
Right now, obviously, the human rights crisis that is the overturning of Roe versus Wade in the United States. It's been over a year now. 26 states initially had trigger laws in place to immediately effectively
And
ban abortion.
What is a trigger law? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
26 states?
And now we're up to 34 states that have restrictions in
Jesus
place.
Christ.
So because the Supreme Court was literally exactly designed to be stacked against us for this particular issue, we're fighting it at the state level. In all 50 states, Amazon, what the fuck?
They probably have something to do with this too.
Yeah, no, they have nothing to do with amnesty. We do not take
No, I mean with
even corporate
overturning Roe v.
matching
Wade.
donations. I just want, we sometimes take matching donations from some employers, that do a matching. We don't take any from corporations just by themselves. But even Amazon, we don't even take the matching from them. So we say, fuck you, Amazon. But anyways. Amnesty is working in all 50 states to enshrine in every state constitution the access to abortion. Because we couldn't get it at the federal level like we did in Ireland, Amnesty helped to decriminalize
See,
abortion
there's
there.
something. There's I want
we did that. So we're doing it
here.
Yeah, we're doing that here in the
Okay.
United States. We know we can do it. You know what? Besides Ireland, Argentina, really proud of the work they did there. Decriminalized and legalized abortion. First South American
Wow.
country. Not only legal, guaranteed access to abortion services within 1 week of needing it there
Jesus.
because of our work. Yeah, really, really like enshrining it as a human right. They're first South American country, now working in Brazil, probably going to be the second country to have access.
Nice.
That's millions and
those
millions
are
of people.
The major countries in, I was going to say in Brazil.
Hugely,
No, but,
hugely populated. And you're talking about in the United States, seeing a rise maternal mortality rates. So you know that the more legal access we can get, the fewer women and girls will die. And that's genuinely what's happening. That's what we're doing, fighting for every day here in the United States, getting things on ballots so people can vote on them.
They're trying to get ballot measures, like referendums.
We get like referendums on ballots. Yeah, so people can vote on it because you know what?
We need the people
every
to do
single
this.
Every single time we come out to vote on it, we always support reproductive rights. That support is there in every single state. So that's what we're doing.
Because fuck
we're
these
working on reproductive
elected
rights.
representatives because
exactly. You have someone actually speaking for you. Yes, you have someone here because you know why?
Doesn't work.
Unless it's
there it is.
taken straight from the actual fucking people. I'll say representative.
Democracy simply doesn't work.
Yeah, that's what Amnesty's out here doing. We're supported by our members. That's what supports our huge grassroots organization.
On this, right?
No,
I'm just kidding.
People, no, it's an example. People getting involved and really driving towards a common goal. You can accomplish things all over the world. Saudi Arabian women being able to drive. That was Amnesty. All the people that have been freed from prison, over 130 countries don't have the death penalty because of Amnesty.
On other episodes, all right?
Oh, there's a lot. We've been around for over 6 decades. Yeah.
Yeah. And
So,
you've been working for them
people,
49 years. It's really impressive.
Yeah.
So.
I just
really
want
cool.
everyone to know there are people out there
It is an
really
actually
fighting,
good international organization. There are not very many of them.
we try. We can we stand on the Declaration of Human Rights, that was adopted by the UN in a bunch of different countries. It's 30 points listed out. Very simple. That's like the foundation that we stand on
right now.
to say every single person. Okay, the right to I could not. There's like some of them are paragraphs, but just like the right to just that everyone is born with a consciousness and is deserving.
Yeah.
Every single human being who is born is deserving of like food, shelter, housing, a fair justice system, a vote in like their government. Yes, exactly. We all have these rights, and these governments that have signed on, Amnesty tries to hold them accountable. We, especially the United States, with our death penalty. Like there's a bunch of countries that don't have. Most countries don't have the death penalty in the world, but we're pretty proud of it here. So we're working on that too.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Cool. Well,
yeah.
I love you.
I love you too.
And
We hate all the Muslims.
Obviously.
And once again, you've listened to this episode. Hopefully you take a step back. You think hard and realize
This is propaganda.
and this is politics. So shout out Aaron Brown. Shout out to
Our
all
Lord
of
and
our
Savior.
loving friends that listen to this. 'Cause
Zach
I
and
still
Ryan
think
and Kelsey
we probably
and Anita,
personally know every single
Emily.
person that listens. So
Oh yeah, and we love you all so much.
well, I mean, we love you all. So
well, I love you all so much.
much. Okay. All right. I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.